Do you think the government was involved in the P. Diddy stuff?
1,000%.
Yes, Joe Rogan sat down with him. They talk about a lot of things, and I was concerned with this clip, focusing on Hollywood. Like you can see here, this guy just said something that will turn you off. I don't know if you've seen that. Before we even go into that clip, first take a look at this.
Do you think the government was involved in the P. Diddy stuff?
1,000%.
Really?
I think they wanted to blackmail serious Hollywood people, serious music people, serious athletes. I think that Diddy opens up a different world than Epstein opened up. And I think if you want control over people in that world, there's startling similarities between Diddy and Epstein. And, Diddy had the same head of security as Michael Jackson.
What does that mean?
Well,
was Michael Jackson in the government?
No, Michael Jackson has been credibly accused of inappropriate activities.
Oh, right.
And he had a security guard that...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just an interesting connection.
But generally, people that specialize in top-level celebrities like that, they work in the same circles.
Yes, but those are top...
Yeah, but I see that's what's interesting is, we didn't know about the Diddy thing until... Look, I've been in Hollywood I was there for 25, 26 years or something like that. I didn't know about the Diddy parties.
No, I think you have to get invited to
a white party, like People Magazine or something like that.
Well, I think it's just one of those things that, you're invited to, and you could go and show up there and stay for an hour, and it's all completely innocent. And then there are after parties or certain things.
Well, they would tell people, at midnight, you better go fuck home, or
it gets wild.
Be prepared to freak off.
And there's targets. I think people, they want leverage on certain people.
Well, certainly if you have artists, right? Say if you have an artist, he's the next Tupac.
Right.
And you imagine the amount of money a guy like that can generate. If you have some super talented artist.
Right.
Compromise him.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
You got him.
And now you have him, and now he's got to kind of do what you want.
I have seen people on my comment section, especially during that campaign period when these celebrities were coming out in numbers to support Kamala, or people point fingers, maybe in the Diddy list. That is what I saw all through. When you see what Joe Rogan is putting out with him, it is extremely concerning, which I don't want to go in there because I know later there is this video I'm concerned with. Yes, I believe you've seen this. These Hollywood people. Now going into this video, look, actor one, MAGA, to know that he does not care if he is hated of Trump, causes a boycott of the Star Wars. Hamill, I was devastated. I want to get rid of the electoral college because Hillary Clinton beat him by 3 million votes, just too shy under 3 million, and got beat W by 500,000. This guy went on a run on this podcast and it drew my attention. It is important. I show you what exactly is going on. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please endeavor to do that. It will do you no harm if you share the video out.
I never, to your question, I never became active until wanting to make sure that, first of all, I was devastated. I want to get rid of the Electoral College because Hillary beat him by 3 million votes, just a shy under 3 million. And Gore beat W by 500,000. And it was making me crazy because I started reading about the Electoral College. And, oh, my God, this is remnants of slave days when they were trying to, proportion the amount of votes with, how many slaves you owned. And, oh, it was awful. But anyway, so that and Citizens United, I'd like to get rid of. But in any case, I started, as you said, you get most scorching hate tweets from the MAGA crowd. And when I was still on Twitter, I had to stop reading the responses. I wouldn't block anyone because then they could display Mark Hamill blocked you as a badge of honor. But I muted like a mofo. I would mute, I looked up one day and I said, oh my God, I've been muting people for 40 minutes. So once I realized how it was eating into my own time, I said, the only thing to do is don't read the response.
Yes.
You just
No.
can't. You can't. And someone said to me, my daughter would say, Daddy, you shouldn't tweet politically so much because, people get so angry. And so I wrote a tweet that I said, the people complaining about my Trump tweets have to understand. I love my country and I feel it's my patriotic duty to oppose this sociopathic, I forget the other word, whatever it was, with every fiber of my being. And that's the way I've been. I do feel it's an obligation. And who cares about your career? People say, oh, well, it's hurting your career because you have to appeal to the whole country, not just half the country or 45% or whatever the MAGA crowd is. But I said, in the grander scheme of things, who cares if I lose a part in a movie because I hate the orange atrocity? I do, and I want people to know that. So
I understand that on day one, you're going to be signing a flurry of executive orders. Can you give me just what are the top ones people should know about?
A lot of it will have to do with economics. A lot's going to have to do with energy. A lot's going to do with having to do with the border. We're going to immediately strengthen up the border and do a real job. And some of the basics.
If I look at the big picture, it doesn't look good. So I'm going to work on this line.
Right.
I'm going to read this book.
Right.
I'm going to talk to this friend and keep it small.
And the truth is, you're probably going to be able to keep doing that.
God willing.
No matter what's going on out there in the world. Of course, the worst things could happen. Trump could get into office and blow up the world on day one. But, I'm not going through the same spilkus I did last time.
Really?
Yeah. Like when it happens, wake me, but I'm not giving my mind over to it again. And I'll see what happens. And one thing I've learned about the future is that we're very bad about predicting it. And whatever you think is probably likely to happen probably isn't going to happen.
I feel I didn't actually watch election night. Did Harris not win?
You see them. One of the reasons I hate these people is the fact that if something is not going their way, it is either they break a law or they change things to be in their favor. Because Electoral College, India sense on this video is not favoring them. The reason they are not advocating that, it should be removed. This is not the only person. I have seen some Democrat, saying things like this, especially when Kamala lost. But let's just even consider it was removed totally. Still yet, Kamala will not win. Gavin Newsom, listening to this, for them to set in, maybe say something contrary, they are silent, they are smiling. Like it's making a lot of sense. He even went further to say, slavery, talking about slavery, that this came during that slavery period where they said, because of the number of slaves you have, I don't even want to go into the history we're trying to narrate here. It is totally BS. I don't know what you think. Is it okay for them to bring in this and advocate the Electoral College should be abolished totally? If this was favoring Democrat or Lord, you would not see them even mention this. Hollywood people sitting because it's not favoring them, crying on this guy loved Twitter. He said he cannot continue simply because of the way things are going, how they're batching him. Now he has the gall to sit here and talk about abolishing the Electoral College.
Donald Trump isn't one to let bygones be bygones.
The thing that disturbs me is not just that.
If you're seeing some videos behind my clips, please, I'm begging on you. That is just for the algorithm. You can stop here. You must not watch to the end. I usually like to pass this information so you should understand why I'm doing so. It is for the algorithm. Sometimes they don't want to recommend videos, so we know they are trick.
Just, went like, how dare you? Do you even know what an audit is? And I'm like,
Women and so many men
that a lot of people seem to be
coalescing around.
They were too woke, insisting that people use the term Latinx.
You have to say they. No, you have to do this.
Stop with the virtue signaling.
Step away from woke. Focus less on who is woke and more on who is broke.
I've never seen that.
I saw so many liberals getting super excited every time Kamala had a new celebrity endorsement. But we all know for a fact that these celebrity endorsements are not free.
Oh, is it true that they paid you $1 million for the endorsement for Kamala?
Not true.
Now it's time to unite everybody.
So, with that, I'm going to shake it off.
Figure out a way to say thank you.
That guy's name, he's such an absolute prick. I can't stand him. But anyway,
Hey there. Not doing great.
Terrible night last night. It was a terrible night.
What will the rest of us be doing on day one?
Bishop Vigano, he says that
the election. If I look at the big picture, it doesn't look good. So I'm going to work on this.
No matter what's going on out there in the world, of course, the worst things could happen.
And I've known, which is every president, who's been really red.
The ICE officers across the country. The news is right. Maybe they're civilian drone, maybe they're all legal. I just find it hard to believe.
The other thing he said.